This is the Orpat, the Oregon Physical Abilities Test. Where the Orpat differs from other physical abilities tests, they are purely tests of physical fitness. The Orpat is a test of occupational fitness as well. Based on the Royal Canadian Mounted Police Pair Test, the Orpat was born from a need to test officers in the realm in which they actually work versus physical fitness. We will walk through each individual obstacle and penalties associated with that obstacle. The first obstacle in the Orpat is the 15-foot balance beam. You must begin at the very start of the beam and end at the very end of the beam. Okay? As you work your way across the 15-foot balance beam, you must stay on the entire time to complete the obstacle correctly. If at any point you were to fall off the balance beam, the penalty associated with this obstacle is going all the way back to the start cone and doing it again until completed correctly. Once you've completed the balance beam, you will move on to the next cone. The next obstacle is the 5-foot jump. Okay? After a short run down a straight stretch, you will jump directly over the box to complete this obstacle correctly. If at any point you are to step inside the box, either at the beginning or at the end, a penalty will be associated. The first time that happens will be a warning. Each time after that, a 5-second penalty will be added to the end at your raw time. After completing the 5-foot jump, you'll go around another cone and you will move to the stair obstacle. You must go up and over the stairs, around the cone on the other side, back up and over the stairs. When going over the stairs, you have to hit at least 2 steps on the way up, 2 steps on the way down. The top step counts as a step, both the way up and the way down. You can use the handrails if you want to. You are not required to use the handrails. If at any point you were to improperly complete a section of the test, the penalty associated is that you would be sent back to that portion where you did not complete it correctly, and you must finish the obstacle correctly. After completing the stairs, you will move to the crawl obstacle. When going under the crawl obstacle, you cannot touch the top or the sides, and one knee must hit the mat at some point during the obstacle. If at any point you were to touch the obstacle, either the top or the sides, the first time will be a warning. Each time after that, a 2-second penalty will be added to your raw time. After completion of the crawl, we'll go around another cone, and we will move to the 2 18-inch hurdles. When going over the hurdles, you must jump directly between the cones, and you cannot knock the dowel over. You can either jump or you can step over them. If at any point you were to step outside of the cones or knock the dowel off, a penalty will be associated. The first time will be a warning. Every time after that will be a 2-second penalty. These are independent obstacles, each carrying their own penalties. So you would be associated a warning and a penalty on each obstacle. You would only receive a penalty if you were to knock the dowel off or jump outside the cones on the same hurdle twice. From here, we'll move to the last cone, and we will move over to the vault. When going over the vault, both hands must be placed on the bar, and then there are many ways you can get over it. You can jump over it, you could step on it, or you could straddle it, either forward or backward. A few of the things you could not do are spin around it. You could not go under the vault, and you could not jump the vault without touching it. Okay? Upon completion of the vault, you must have a 2-foot landing on the mat. From there, you have previously been instructed whether you will have a back fall or a front fall. If you have a back fall, you will go all the way to the ground, both shoulder blades touching the ground, then you will get up and begin your next lap. If you have a front fall, you will go to the ground with your chest touching the ground, out of that fall, back into your next lap. This would be the completion of 1 lap. You must complete 6 laps before you can move to the push-pull machine. From here, we'll come right off the mat and we will move to the push-pull machine. Once you get to the push-pull machine, the first task is 6 pushes. As you look at the machine, it is color-coded. Green means good. Yellow means that our instructor is going to tell you to push the machine back in If it gets to red, that rotation does not count. You have to complete 6 180-degree rotations. Technique for this, both hands on the handle, okay, they cannot wrap around, and the chest cannot touch the handle. Elbows in tight, drive through the legs. To begin the rotation, you can either side shuffle or you can open your hips and run with it. Okay? All the way around is one rotation. If at any point during that rotation the machine were to slide out to red, that rotation would not count. You do not have to have 6 consecutive rotations, but you must complete 6 full rotations in order for you to move on to the next task. After completing the push portion, we will move over to the falls. First, you'll have 2 back falls. Shoulder blades all the way to the ground, stand up again, stand all the way up, complete another back fall. After 2 back falls, we'll have 2 front falls. All the way to the ground, chest touches, all the way back to a full standing position. After completion of the 2 front falls, we'll move to the pull portion of the test. On the pull, both hands have to be on the rope. They cannot be on the carabiner. They cannot be on the handle. Okay, they both have to be on the rope. From here, sit back and try to pull the machine to the opposite wall. Again, we're color-coded. Green means good. Yellow, you'll be instructed to pull it out a little further. Red, the rotation does not count. Same lower body technique. You can either side shuffle or you can open the hips and run with it. Okay? Once again, 6 180-degree rotations. Once you've completed 6 180-degree rotations with the pull, the timed portion of Orpat is done. At this point, we'll add up any penalties and you will have your final Orpat time. After a brief recovery period, you will move to the final phase of the Orpat, the dummy drag. You must move this 165-pound dummy 25 feet to the other end. It has to be a continuous move. To carry the dummy, first your arms must go underneath the dummy's arms. From there, you have your choice of grips. You could grip right underneath the arms. You could use the handle. If your arms are long enough, you could reach around and get a gable grip. From here, you can pick the dummy up as high as you like. You can either carry it high, or you could leave it on the ground to drag it. Once you find a grip, you must keep that grip the entire time when you're moving. From here, you just have to move at a steady pace until we get all 25 feet. Okay? As he moves to the other end, we see completion. If at any point during this process you were to stop, fall, or try to readjust your grip, that repetition would not count. You have 3 attempts to complete the dummy drag. Once you've completed the dummy drag, the Orpat is finished. So now we're going to demonstrate 2 laps around the obstacle course. From there, we'll bounce off of the mat and we'll move over to the push-pull and we'll demo a couple of repetitions of that as well. Are you ready? Okay, we'll start on you. Across the beam, down the straight stretch, over the jump. Around the cone to the stairs, up and over. Okay, watch your step at the bottom, through the crawl. Next you have the hurdles. You'll have a back fall after the vault, back fall. Good, up quick, next lap. Let's push it on this one. Okay, down the straight. Up and over the stairs. Through the crawl. Front fall after the vault, front fall, then over to the push-pull machine. Okay, you got 2 push. Lock it in, keep the elbows tight, drive it around. 1, 2, 1 back fall. All the way up, 1 front fall. 2 pulls and you're done. 1, 2, done. Time is over.